Thanks for watching. Short guide on electric releases. Certainly Ingersoll compatible electric releases anyway. So I've got a couple of electric releases here on the desk here, and I've got one fitted to a little mini door that you can see here, and this is the electric release here. So the electric releases that you can buy from our website are for use exclusively with this lock case, which is the SC73 non-double locking. Often they're installed incorrectly with the SC71 double locking version, and that's actually a fire hazard. You can't do that because if the lock is double locked, the release will not allow the door to open. So double check, look at the other video that I'm linking to now, to see whether you have, if you've got an existing lock, an SC71 or an SC73. And if you have a 71 with a release plate, you're going to need to change this lock body, this piece, to the RA73 spare part so that it's compliant again. We offer the releases in two finishes primarily, polished chrome and polished brass. And also we have some limited stock of satin chrome. At the moment I'm recording this in February 2021. We only have a handful left and then they won't be available anymore. I'm afraid we can't get them plated anymore. But the releases themselves, and this is the page on our website if you're placing an order for them, whether you're ordering a complete lock, so the SC73E, which is the complete lock that comes with the release plate, with the multi-lock cylinder or the standard cylinder. I'll put another link up here now so you can see the difference between those two, but you've got these drop downs, so you need to choose the finish that you want. You need to choose whether you want the classic Ingersoll cylinder or not, and that's that link that I mentioned. And then you need to choose the electrical properties of the release plate, and this is where we get many phone calls and people just don't know which one they need. Of course they don't. You have these choices: 12 volt AC fail lock, 12 volt DC fail lock, and lastly 12 volt DC fail unlock, and that's what I'm going to explain now. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the AC and DC element of it. So alternating current AC or direct current DC. More often than not, these release plates, all electric release plates for that matter, are installed most often on communal doors. So the main entrance, the communal door to, let's say, a block of flats. And everyone has a handset for their intercom. And we actually have one here, so I can show you. So this is a typical Videx handset on an intercom, and you've got the lock button on there, and then when you press that button on a typical phone entry system like this, an electrical voltage is sent to the electric release plate so that it will open. So most intercom systems or phone entry systems use AC, so that will deliver a voltage around about 12 volts. It might be between 11 and 14 volts AC, alternating current, and you'll know it's AC because it will buzz. So if you've already got an electric release plate and you want to change it, maybe you've got an inferior one and you want to upgrade to the Ingersoll, you'll know that when you press that button, or someone presses the button, that you'll get an actual audible buzzing from the release plate as you do so. So if it's buzzing as that button's being depressed, that's AC. Some more modern systems, things that are linked to telephone systems and PBXs and things like that, might send a DC voltage, and some video systems might send a DC voltage. And if it's a DC voltage, direct current, no buzz. You're not going to hear a buzz, you're going to hear a click. So when that button is depressed on the intercom handset or whatever device sends the voltage, it could even be Bluetooth linked things these days, and access control devices, it's sending a DC voltage, so you'll just get one pulse that will go down the cable, arrive at the release plate, and you'll hear a click. Very small click, but it's a click, not that buzzing that you get from the AC. So AC is going to be buzzing and DC is a click. Okay, so if I flip this one over, we can actually see this is the body. This chrome plated part is the body. This is the actual electrical component. And the two terminals, so it's just two terminals, for wiring in your cable, are there at the top. To get to that part, you need to remove these two screws so that you can pull this piece out, wire it up, and then put it back in and then fit it on the door. So both of these happen to be AC fail lock. I was just showing you the two finishes, the brass and the chrome. So now let's talk about the fail lock and fail unlock. So what does that really mean? So when we say fail, that means that when there is no electricity being delivered to the electric release plate, so the electricity supply has failed, the device remains in the locked position. So this is locked. I'm pushing that with my thumb. It won't open. So the lock, if I go back over to this piece will not release and it won't allow the door to open. By far, a ratio of 99-1, almost every electric release plate in the world is fail lock, almost certainly. So I have a third electric release here, and this is the fail unlock, so the rare one. I'll flip it over and you can see we've written fail unlock there. And what that means is that this extremely rare one will require a voltage to be delivered all the time to the release plate in order to keep it locked, so to keep it in that lock state that we talked about. And when the voltage fails, so when the voltage is gone, it's then like this one is gone, there's nothing connected to it, so there's no voltage, it is unlocked. So it's fail unlocked. So like I say, that's very rare, really highly unlikely that you've got that type of system. So how do you know what you have got? Well, the thing is, you need to use a multimeter really. So you need to put a multimeter like this one onto the output, using these terminals, onto the output of your entry system, whatever that may be. So the wire, the two cables that are arriving or will arrive at this point. You're going to test them with this. On your multimeter, you've got two scales. So you've got AC, that's the little cosine there, sine wave rather, indicates that this is the AC. You would select your lowest range, connect your multimeter up, press the button, and if you get a voltage here that looks like, you know, somewhere between, like I say, 11 and 12, 13, even 14 volts, you know, you've got an AC. So you would go over into your DC range, and I've selected 20 volts, do your measurements, and if you get that sort of sensible looking result here of 11, 12, 13 volts, then you know you're dealing with a DC supply that's being delivered. I've made this video because I tend to have this conversation about 4 times a day in order to try to ascertain which release plate the client might need, and often even the electrician hasn't got a multimeter or doesn't know how to measure a voltage like that, because they only tend to deal in mains voltages, some of them. I mean, there's lots and lots of electricians that would know. So you really need to get someone that's competent at understanding systems, intercom systems, access control systems, to figure out what type of release you need. Of course, that's not to say don't get in touch. If you do need help, give us a call, send us an email, contact us on the website. And if you have enjoyed this video and want to see more content, please hit the subscribe button, which is on your screen down on the right hand side, not the left hand side like this shows. Thanks for watching.